Alright, so I haven't been on a bike in over 20 years. So naturally, I figured I'd just hop back on like nothing has changed. And why do it alone? I actually strapped a camera to the front of the bike. This is my new DJI Nano. So I am trusting this new support mount with the brand new camera that I've only used about one time, just making sure I know how to turn it on and turn it off. I'll tell you what though, these camera mounts are a lot different than the mounts that I had used 20 years ago when I was riding. A few guys back then had some things, and this camera is very small. So after riding around town, well, the back sides of town, the small little neighborhoods and everything, I'm sure everybody was annoyed of me going up and down the roads. I found this industrial complex, and this is a weekend, and it is a brand new complex, so it was pretty empty. So it's a perfect place to practice. Now, like I said, don't judge me too hard because it's been about 20 years since I had been on a motorcycle. And this actually is a new motorcycle that I'm using here to me. This is a 2003 Harley-Davidson Road King. It's the 100th anniversary edition. And it's a little bit larger of the bikes that I'd used in the past. I'd rode Honda Magnas in the past, and they're a little bit smaller sports bikes. Something else I had to get used to was this heel toe shifter. I'd never used one of those before. I've used forward controls and things like that, but after a little bit of going back and forth and making some turns in the parking lot and repositioning the camera, of course, it was slowly coming back to me. I know I'm going to be going back to this parking lot and practicing my turns again just so I can get even more comfortable turning and navigating at slow speed. But you know, with anything, as long as you practice it, you'll get more comfortable and confident. And yeah, so after a few rounds in this parking lot, I felt confident enough to let Nick know we were going to be going on a day ride, or morning ride, I should say, that turned into a day ride. But this was a good day out. It wasn't a very long day. I do need to get some new riding boots. These are just my camping / hiking boots, so they're not the most comfortable, but at least they do have some grip, and I don't have to worry about slipping on the pavement when I do have to do the duck walk, because like I said, I am still slowly getting used to getting back to turns and navigating and things like that. Alright, one last time for repositioning that camera, and I did not want to spend too much time in this parking lot just because it was a closed business. Even though it was the weekend, I didn't want to attract any attention from any of the police officers or anything, give me a hard time for practicing. instead of practicing on private property, I guess. I don't know. I just got a little nervous because too many SUVs were driving by slow. The only other thing that I've noticed that I'm having a little bit of difficulty with is finding neutral. I know I'm slowly getting better with it after a few rides, but it is a little tricky on this motorcycle opposed to ones I've had in the past. But this helmet is really working out well for me too. The only thing I wish would be, I like the 3/4 helmet. Since I'm in Florida, it's really hot, so I didn't want a full face helmet. But I'm not sure what the best way to mount my DJI Nano is to get that POV shot, so when I turn my head, the camera actually goes with me. So if anybody has any thoughts for that, I'd love to hear what kind of camera setups you use. I didn't really want to glue anything to the helmet, but I may end up doing that to the side. But if you have any suggestions or what you do, I would really like to hear it. I know that they make a lot of straps for the full face masks, but not really much for the half or the 3/4 helmets. Well, that's about it for this ride. I think I just went around the parking lot a few more times and then headed home. And after a couple more days riding in the Florida heat, I also noticed that I do need riding gloves because the tops of my hands are very sunburned. But we've got another ride scheduled for this weekend, so I will try to get good shots with the GoPro and the DJI Nano. And I'll have to remember to take some video of when we stop to some of the scenery. But we'll try to get that uploaded soon, and hopefully we can get one or two of these videos up a month. If anybody has any suggestions on great rides for or applications, we downloaded an app, but I'm looking for something that's very affordable or free for any rides that are in Southwest Florida. That would be helpful as well. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of this video, and I'll see you next time.